Hey everyone, today we are discussing 10 business automation essentials for online small businesses.
Balancing building a successful business and being a superstar mom is hard, and yet, in today's digital world, it's more common than ever.
The question becomes, how do we successfully grow a business and children at the same time?
Join us for a candid conversation as we share our insights into marketing and motherhood. I'm Angela Reeder.
And I'm Jessie Valle. Welcome to the Marketing Moms Podcast.
So, as online small business owners, we know instinctively that automating, especially here in the digital age, can make our lives easier. The question is not, should we automate? The question is, what should we automate? And how do we automate those things? So today we wanted to go over, we created a list of 10 business automation essentials for your online small business that you really should consider automating if you are doing it manually. At least consider automating it to make your life easier. Because I also feel like as small business owners, sometimes it's hard to pull the trigger on hiring someone.
Mm-hmm.
And when we can use bots and AI and automation and all these things nowadays to help without going forward to actually hire someone, it helps, especially when you are a business of one and you want to stay a business of one. Now, we are not anti-hiring people. We love hiring people. People hire us. However, we both know the power, especially in the beginning, of just staying small, just being you, and using other tools to help support you so you can focus on the money-making activities and some of this other stuff can just kind of be handled on the side. So, that being said, number one is something we do use personally, and it is social media posting.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's generally, aside from email, which we'll talk about later, social media posting is one of the first things people bring up when they talk about automation.
Mm-hmm. Because it's the no-brainer.
Yeah.
There are so many different tools. Like there's no point in us going through the tools. There are so many, and each one is slightly different and have different types of plans and how they work. And so our motto has always been the best tool is the tool that works best for you. And so it's really up to you to get trials and test them out. So we're not going to go into the specific tools today, but we will say that it is important to have one. Also because when you have, especially as a marketing mom, when you have a pocket of time to bulk get some of those items done, you want to just do it and you want to set up the schedule and forget it. Mm-hmm. And then let the tool post automatically to all the things: Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok. Well, I don't know if you can post auto to TikTok. I've never tried, but I'm sure there's tools that do it now.
Probably are, yeah.
But personally, I've done to the Facebooks and the Twitters and the Instagrams and the Pinterests. So yes, it is possible. It is so worth it. Especially, again, like I said, if you can sit down and do it. Or, I know this is like half automation, half hiring someone, but hire someone to do those things for you.
Yes.
Going way back, I cannot believe we've been doing this for as many years as we have.
Oh, I know.
But like my very first hire was having someone curate all of these social media. Yes, now we have things like ChatGPT that can do it for us instantly. Right. But back then, I hired someone to literally come up with all these social media posts for me, and so that we could just schedule them and be done for an entire year.
Yeah. I had a client that did that. They hired someone to create a year's worth of social media posts, and then they would hand them over to me and I would load them up into the automations so that it was just like beginning of the year, the whole year is taken care of. They don't have to think about it anymore. That was actually my first job, not that one, but creating social media posts for like a little handmade toy company was the first like online job I had.
That's super cool. But the other great thing about that is if you schedule for like the entire year, I will say though that back in the day, especially on Facebook, it was very important to post consistently. Now Facebook's kind of faded away and other platforms have taken over, but it's still very important to post consistently.
Yeah.
No matter where you're at. So even if it's up like a post a week or 2 posts a week, you would know that, okay, something's going to go out every, I don't know, Monday and Thursday. So then the creator still has the opening to do flash things on other days of the week or something like that. Like Angela and I always leave Wednesday open because we know that's when our new episodes come out. So that's going to be a new episode post. So when we add other posts throughout the week, we make sure it's just never on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So just little things like that. So it is one of the easiest, most valuable things to automate in your business because social media is important to your online business these days. No one can deny that.
Yeah.
But being able to automate it makes it a lot less daunting because you can batch the tasks.
Yeah. Yeah. The next thing is email marketing, which is, I think, probably the first thing that I really heard about automating in like a business sense, as far as like welcome series and delivering freebies and things like that. And I think it gets overlooked a lot as useful as it is. I see a lot of clients that don't have email automation set up. And they're like, oh, whenever someone, joins my list, I just hop in and send them. And I'm like, that's not sustainable. You can't do that for very long.
No. Now, that's why I love tools like ClickFunnels, where you can not only set up the opt-in pages or your purchase pages, but then also set up the email marketing all in one system. So they opt in, you have an automation right there that sends them the emails. It's not only that, but then you could also send your whole list. Like we use ClickFunnels when we're emailing all of you.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to just be able to handle that all in one system. And yeah, so also you can do like cart abandonment reminders. Like if you have it set up to where someone starts a buying process but then stops, you can go ahead and send them, hey, you have one more step. Or, hey, I noticed you were there, but you didn't quite pull the trigger. Here's 15% off.
Right. Yeah.
There's so many ways. They are. And it's the same thing with automation. You set it up once and then you forget it. Or you set it up and then you can always tweak it later, but at least you've set it up and you don't have to do it for every single person.
Yeah.
Also, this list that we have says customer surveys, which also I actually put that in when we did our actually I think I did it with our free balance journal. I put in the automation, once you get your free balance journal, you can, and we'll have links for all of this stuff below. Yeah. You can actually, I let people consume it and then I come back and I'm like, hey, did you do this? How is it going? And so I'm communicating with the people in the business, but I only had to write it once and I don't have to think, oh no, it's been 3 days since so-and-so got the balance journal. Let me go email them really quick.
Right. Oh, like, and you can also do that if you have products. You can also do that for product reviews to automate like email to go out and ask for a review.
Yeah. And I will say that it is so hard to ask someone to review something. For example, all of you, please go to iTunes and review our podcast.
Please review our podcast.
We never ask anybody to do it, but can you please go do that today?
That would be wonderful.
That would be amazing. please go review our podcast. Or if you've read our book, please go review our book on Amazon.
Yes.
You know, there's so many people that have consumed our things, but we don't ask that step further. And you know what? We could automate that. And Angela, we really should.
Should automate that.
We should automate that. In fact, you can go to marketingmomspodcast.com and make sure that you're on our email newsletter list. And that's definitely where we should start putting, hey, you're definitely interested in our podcast. Can you review it? Here's a link. Let's make it easy here. Here's a link to go review our podcast. That's the other thing, is using automation to help people do something. It's, yes, we can tell you right now and ask, hey, can you please go review us on iTunes? But if I send you an email with a link that all you have to do is click and then do it, so much easier.
So much easier. Yeah. Yep. Speaking of helping people do things, another thing you can automate is customer support for things like frequently asked questions, or if someone needs to reach out to you for something, like if you need someone to schedule a call, if you're a service provider, or if, you know, you need people to reach out to you if you do custom products or things like that, you can use automation to make that easier for people to do.
Yeah, you can set up chatbots on your websites with frequently asked questions. So someone's like, you know, hey, it's the Marketing Mom bot. How can I help you today? And they say, I need help with XYZ. And you're like, great, here's something that Jesse and Angela put together for you. If this doesn't answer your question, click here to talk to them directly. If you do that, if that way, at least there's a barrier. It's like a bot gatekeeper. So you don't have to personally go answer every single person, because you've put frequently asked questions together in an automation that the bot can answer for you. Especially right now in the bot AI boom that's going on right now. This is so prevalent. Lots of people are doing this kind of chat bot where the bot tries to answer you first before you go to a human, which I know can be very annoying. But if you just put the little button that says talk to a human, that alleviates that.
I've seen this done really well, though. Like I've interacted, because part of my job, I deal with like support places a lot, like support chat a lot for people. And I've seen the chatbots done really well, where they're like really helpful. They're very adaptive and good at answering questions. And as long as there's like a little, I need to talk to a person, like a real person.
Yeah, I would say if it's not working for you, you might consider having someone else take a look at it and giving their feedback, which you can do when you join Marketing Moms Monthly. Angela and I would be happy to review your stuff, whether it's your email newsletters or your automations or anything that you're trying to implement in your business. We're happy to take a look and give you feedback for. And you can do it for free when you join us for your first free month.
For free month.
MarketingMomsMonthly.com. I'm just saying, like, there are resources, including the two people virtually sitting in front of you right now. We're here to help you. So if you've implemented something and you're like, it's not working, this sucks. Maybe it's not the act of implementing it, it's how you're implementing it, not that you implemented it. So we'd be happy to take a look at that kind of stuff for you. Okay. Let's see here. Next, if you are a physical business, number 4 is going to be inventory management. So there are a lot of systems. Like, I know when I first started, I was definitely the type of person that just used an Excel spreadsheet or a Google spreadsheet and just did everything myself manually. But if you truly want to scale and grow, you're gonna need a system that automates inventory counts, especially as a physical business.
Yeah, and you can set them up to like reorder things for you when they get to a certain like if you have stock that you need to use, you can have it automatically reorder once it hits a certain number, which can be just really helpful.
Yeah, I mean, when we're talking about automation, we're talking about how it saves you time. So, can you do all of these things on your own? Absolutely. But isn't your time better spent on other money making activities than just reordering your stock?
Right. Exactly. All right. So,
So,
another thing you can do, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, so if you are a physical business, taking a look into inventory management systems is like a must.
Yes, highly recommend.
Mm-hmm.
So another thing you can automate are financial tasks. And I'm being a business of one, I am not as familiar with the automating financial tasks, especially since I don't think I've looked at QuickBooks in 6 months. So maybe I should automate.
Well, okay, let me tell you something that QuickBooks can do now that it didn't used to be able to do. Because Angela and I both use QuickBooks Online. Wait, is it QuickBooks Online or is it a different? I don't know. QuickBooks has a lot of different versions, but we each use a type of version of it.
We do, yeah.
Anyway, it can automate invoices for recurring customers. So if you have a contract with someone that you bill them on the first of every month for a certain amount, you can automate that.
You know what? I do have those. Well, yes, I do have those automated, but not through QuickBooks. I did forget about that. I guess I do have a bit of financial automation.
Yeah. Or if you are doing a large project and the payment's broken down, like especially when we were doing websites, we would do like so much up front, then so much halfway through, and then so much at the end.
Yeah.
You can automate the days that those specific amounts are sent out. So again, you don't have to remember, oh, on this day I need to go send this amount to this client. It can be automatic, which is amazing.
Yes.
So that's just invoicing. You can also, as your team grows, you can automate payroll, which is super important because let's be honest, if you don't pay your employees, they're going to let you know.
Yes.
And also things like expense tracking as well. There are ways to automate these types of things. So whatever financial tasks you're always doing, go ahead and take a look and see what you can automate. All right, so that was the first 5, so we're halfway through. Number 6 is lead generation. So this is very similar to what we were talking about with the email marketing. But the difference being that lead generation doesn't necessarily have to just be a page to an email. You can also you can connect things like Facebook. There's Facebook opt-ins to your emails. Something else you can do is if you're at an event, kind of the same thing. You can have like a QR code that someone scans, or you can have text automations. Text to
yeah.
Again, it's the bots, it's the automations. You just set it up, whether it's email or messaging or any of that stuff. I've seen a lot of people start doing text automations.
I've got a few that come in on my phone, text automations. And those I think are nice because you don't, like, if you're someone who struggles with like writing long copy emails, then text might be a good option for you because they're just kind of short and sweet. And usually linked to like a blog post or a video or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just thinking about how, like, I get a daily text from Bath and Body Works, and it's just as simple as them letting me know what's going on.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be long. I'm not checking my emails every day for that kind of stuff. So it's nice. Oh, Bath and Body Works has soaps on sale. I'm there.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, it's this other product I don't use. I'll wait.
Exactly.
But it's just that 2 seconds of my attention that they get every day, because who likes to leave the little bubble, the notification bubble? No one.
Yep,
so
exactly.
I have to look. And if you're afraid, whether you're emailing daily or texting daily or whatever, that you're doing it too much, everyone has the option to opt out and unsubscribe. They're there because they want to hear from you. So don't feel guilty about sharing because they asked for you to share. I asked Bath & Body Works to share with me. Mm-hmm. If I didn't want to get them, I would hit stop.
Stop. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, number 7 is analytics reporting.
Yep.
So this one was kind of... Oh, go for it.
I would say this one was kind of new for me. I've dealt with a lot of analytics reports, but it honestly had not occurred to me to automate them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I had to ask Jesse to help me when we were making the list. I was like, how do you even do that?
Yeah, well, there are there are tools for analytics to begin with, like Google Analytics. You can use HubSpot, Tableau, and there are ways to set up custom reports where they can even email you on a schedule.
Yes.
Like I've used Tableau in the past, and same thing. Like I wanted it, like every Monday at 9 a.m. it would email me certain reports. So all I'd have to do is open my email.
Yeah.
And these automated reports are really helpful because then you don't have to go in and set all the filters every single time. It's almost like if you just create a dashboard in Google Analytics, you can go in and take a look at that kind of stuff.
Check it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I remember a long time ago when I was still doing tech VA stuff, one of my jobs for someone was to go in every morning at like 7:30 in the morning and pull numbers from Facebook before it was as easy to read as it is.
Well, that's one way to get you out of bed every morning.
I would go in and I would pull all the numbers for like views and clicks, and I had like a spreadsheet that did math for me for click-through rate, things like that, before Facebook did all that stuff for you. But yeah, every morning, 7:30 for a client, I would get up and I would do, Monday through Friday every morning.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, that was her version of automating that.
Yeah. My version is hiring Angela Bot.
But now Facebook lets you do that a lot easier.
For sure. Okay, number 8 is backup and security. When we set up websites, it is a no-brainer for us to add the security plugins if you're working on like WordPress, and the backups, like it backing up whether it's daily or weekly or depending on how active you are using your website. It's just a no-brainer for us to do that. We never think about the fact that, that's an automation. Because I don't have to... Exactly. I don't have to go in every week or every day and click the button to back up the site. I set it up to do it automatically. And now I can, dream peacefully. And the same thing, we get weekly reports about our security breaches or attempts, I should say. We've never actually had a security breach. Thank goodness, because we set these things up.
Because they are automated.
And here's the thing. If you're using WordPress, for example, it's a free plugin.
Yes.
Like you can do these things for free. It doesn't even have to be paid versions. So minimum, use the free plugins, protect yourself, protect your site.
Yep. Absolutely. Highly recommend.
So
number 9, if you are like a product-based business, you can automate order fulfillment. So you can integrate with shipping services. I know a lot of people that use like print-on-demand type things where those are someone orders something and it automatically gets printed and shipped out. Have merch like t-shirts, coffee cups, things like that. A lot of those are automated. People order them and they automatically get shipped out for them, and the person that's running the store doesn't even have to do anything, and it's really awesome.
Yeah,
I recommend that.
Yeah, for sure, because I know people both ways where they will automate the order getting added into somewhere like ShipStation, which ShipStation is just a management system. It doesn't actually ship it for you. Then they have to manually go in there and ship all those things. So if there are ways that you could fulfill that automatically, how awesome would that be? Or even if it helps some piece, like if someone orders something, it automatically prints the label for me. So all I have to do is grab the label. And so anything to, even if it doesn't have to be fully automated, it can be a hybrid.
Yes.
Just as long as you're automating something to save time and make your workday more efficient.
Yeah. And I think that's one thing people forget about automation is it can just be one tiny little simple piece of automation that makes your life easier. It doesn't have to be a big, long, drawn out, multi-step, complicated automation. It can be just really simple. Like you said, somebody submits an order and it prints a label out for me, and all I have to do is slap it on the box.
Yeah, that saves you time because you don't have to go find the order and click print on the label. When you do that over and over and over and over again,
it adds up.
It adds up for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and last but not least, number 10, employee onboarding. And it doesn't even have to be employee. It could also be contractor onboarding.
Yeah.
Teammate onboarding.
Yeah.
So by this, onboarding. By this, we mean if you set up training, like if you set up training videos, training documents, training tasks, it's something that, hey, I'm hiring someone new about my business. This is the little package for them to learn all about my business and how I do things. I pass it to them and say, go.
Yep.
Now the next person joins, I can do it again. That way I don't have to take time every single time someone new starts and, hey, let me show you how we run our email inbox. Hey, let me show you how we do this to every single individual person. You don't have time for that. Most likely you hired some help because you don't have time for that.
Yes, exactly.
So make it easy on yourself. Set up these automated systems where you can share the same videos, the same documentation, the same everything over and over again to onboard new people.
Yep. Yeah, I have seen those. I don't think I've had anybody bring me on that's used them, but I have seen them and they seem really, and there's a lot of tools for that now too. Like Loom is a really good one because you can film, you can screen share and like explain things. I can't remember. There's another one that like catches your screen share and it like makes a written instruction for you. I'll have to see if I can find the name of it.
That one's cool.
I used it a couple times, but it's really cool because you don't even necessarily have to like talk while you're doing it. You can just do the thing and it will make written instructions for you with screenshots and everything. That's really cool.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Or there's things like all those bot assistants or bot whatevers that come into your meetings with you to take notes.
Yes.
So let's say that you just bring one of those bots in. I think one's like Firefly or something like that. You can bring it in and you can just record a Zoom call with just yourself. And the AI assistant will write a transcript, it'll make notes, and while you're recording your screen and just do it that way. So
yeah.
It's not you obviously have to do it once, but then after that, you can just share it. So that way, yeah, if you find there's a task that you're doing over and over and over again, record yourself doing it so that when you hire someone to do it for you, it's right there.
Yep. Yeah, and you don't have to re-show somebody every time you bring someone on.
Exactly. And it helps because then they can take a look at those training videos as many times as they need to. Like, oh, it's been a couple months since I did this task. Let me go rewatch that video and remember how.
Instead of asking.
I'm not, and here's the funny thing. I've even made training videos for myself. Like, I know I'm going to have to do this again in 8 months, and I know I'm not going to remember what I did. So I make a video from me, and I watch it again in 8 months, and it's great.
Yeah, for sure. I've done that for myself too.
All right. So to recap our top 10 list of things that are business automation essentials for growing your business, we would say number 1, social media posting. Number 2, email marketing. Number 3, customer support. Number 4, inventory management. Number 5, financial tasks. Number 6, lead generation. Number 7, analytics reporting. Number 8, backup and security. Number 9, order fulfillment. And number 10, employee or contractor onboarding. They're all very simple to implement. Again, like Angela said, even if it's just one tiny piece, it could make a huge difference. So definitely do that. If, like we said, there's anything in your business that you would like our eyes on or to chat about and see what kinds of things you could automate, or any questions you have about your business, be sure to join Marketing Moms Monthly. That's where we're hanging out and having these conversations. You can get your free month over at marketingmomsmonthly.com. So until we see you there or next week, bye.
Thank you for joining us today. We're so honored this is where you chose to spend your time.
If this episode helped you in some way, please share it with another mom who needs to hear it. We're in this together.
And if you're ready for next steps, free goodies, and more, head over to marketingmomspodcast.com.
We'll see you next week.